Hey everybody, this is Luis Alvarado. I'm the one that's been creating all the videos in the past for Brain Directories training channel and for everybody in the Brain Directories help and support group on Facebook. Um, yeah, it looks like this. Um, and I wanted to talk to you today about OED. What is OED? For you to understand why I'm I've been meaning to create something like this. We need to go back like almost 2 decades. So the idea actually started in 2006, around 2006. Um, my background is in system engineer. I'm a system engineer. I got two masters in either pedagogy, which is teaching, and open source. I've worked in as a developer learning about their platform in over 150 platforms, and or as an actual developer creating the platform, and that's more than 20 different platforms there. And over the years, and we're talking about since 2006 up to now, I've learned. Before 2006, I already had actually started programming when I was 10. So we're talking about 1989, 1990. I started with Quick Basic or Q Basic. Quick Basic had the compiler, so that was the fun one there. But anyway, I already had several years of learning in the area of programming, the area of how digital security worked and how digital platforms worked and how they behave, all those things. So I started working on all these different platforms. Then, internationally speaking, I learned that the the concept, the I would say the paradigm of how the platforms are created on almost all cases was always based on what I, the creator, thought you, the user, needed. And obviously, over time, in many years, you that works. Okay, that works. But I always believe that the best case scenario would be for me to actually work together, or for the company to actually work together with the actual users, okay, together to build a platform that they actually need because they're the actual users of it, okay. So any feedback that they needed, any problems that they had, any information that was we as the company were able to gather from them was always valuable, super valuable, because they were giving us free feedback about how we can enhance the platform for them so they could be happier using the platform of us, something like that. So we created that like a win-win scenario. Almost none of the platforms that I worked with have actually cared to do that. Okay, there are very few, but almost all platforms, we're talking way too many platforms over all 15 plus years, um, have done it in a way that they think they know better than the actual users, or they basically constrain things or they change things so it's a little bit harder for you to apply your business logic with their platform, or you're constrained in a way that you have to use them. There's no other way, and they sell you they what do you call it? They upsell you things so your business or the platform can actually adapt better to your business, which in fact they were able to do it from the beginning anyway. There's a lot of things that I've learned over the years. So I did not really care why they did not like why they were doing it like that. Okay, and that's where this whole thing came in. So I started since 2006. I started elaborating, taking notes of things that common online businesses or anybody that went to an online business, or at least at that time, um, family businesses, individuals trying to go to an online world to sell their products or services, how they were thinking, what they wanted to sell, how they wanted to sell it, what the target audience was, all those things. So I started gathering all this, okay, over several years, and it has gotten to a point where OED, or the concept of OED, because it already has a lot of modules already created. Actually, if you're watching this and you're not from Bring Directories, um, then you don't know that Bring Directories users, especially the partners, are actually using some of the modules that we have here. So they actually are they're on the BD site and they're using modules that simplify their life on the BD site that are actually OED made or OED related. And I'm going to be reading all this as here, and this video is going to be a little bit long, but it's for me to get out the why I'm making OED and who's going to be benefiting from using OED and why we're asking for help to know who can actually help us finance this. There's no immediate need for this yet, but if we somehow are able to finance this sooner rather than later, then we can develop this sooner rather than later. Um, we're going to be doing a Kickstarter and all of that, but for now, I want to inform everybody that's on my channel about this beautiful project because it's super beautiful. From a technical point of view, I love it. Okay, and it uses latest technologies from Golang to Rust to Vue to it uses a lot of latest things, but it gives the flexibility to the business owners to to for the platform to adapt to their business. That's their goal. That's the goal of OED. You're not supposed to be adapting your business to the platform. The platform is supposed to be adapting to you, to your business. And it's supposed to include at least 99% of the things that you actually need. And if there's something missing, the platform is supposed to give you an option, a pathway to talk to an IT department, which would be us, to create that last 1% so you can literally have an out of the box 100% experience from the platform to your actual business needs. Not you removing pieces of your business because the platform doesn't offer it, or not you researching other platforms or having to merge the platforms all together with other platforms because the platform doesn't offer it or doesn't cover the needs or doesn't give you the possibility of creating something that adapts to your business, which is the whole point here. So what is OED? OED will be a platform for online businesses that targets all type of business, you can see here, or other business paradigms, which offers the ability for the platform to constantly adapt to your business needs instead of you adapting your business to the platform. This part is crucial. This is the most critical thing about OED. And this actually has a psychological effect on the IT team, on you, and on your clients. This is achieved because it is built together with you, the actual user, not just for the user. This is the base on how OED is built and the philosophy of it, which changes how the platform adapts, scales, and revolves around you and obviously your clients. From the analysis and design of it to the development stages and even after, with new features and functionalities that will help the platform dynamically grow and scale with ideas from real business owners. Basically, it's a platform that will constantly be changing depending on your needs. And we're not talking about the changes being at the production state. We're talking about that you'll be able to clone your site. You'll be able to test before launching your site live with those changes. You're able to clone the site with just a click of the button and select, I want to see how these new features will affect my current business. And you're able to test that. You're able to test that with your staff, with specific beta users that could be your clients, for them to see new features and then give you feedback so you can feed us that feedback until the platform is ready or the new changes are ready for you to launch and provide them for your clients. Basically, upselling, but from you to the clients, offering better things to your clients, to your users, making their life better on your site, making them depend and use your site better in a more intuitive way, especially that part, intuitive. So that's what the philosophy is for. Um, so platform dynamically grow with ideas from real business owners, entrepreneurs that cannot find something that adapts perfectly to their business needs, or at least comes close to them as possible, to their actual beginning business idea. Okay, it gives you, the user, the unique possibility, the fact that you have the possibility. It's like I tell people currently on BD, the fact that you have the possibility, at least the possibility, to customize the site to whatever you need. Like I said, we've done on the video platform, we've done sites that look like Facebook, Twitter, Zillow, whatever. So at least this is a platform similar to others. It just that depends on how flexible they are and how much power they give to a developer. It's how much you can change your platform. Okay. So at least you have the possibility on this platform. But on BD, you have the unique possibility, and probably the first time you would be working together with a team of engineers, designers, and other professionals in the area of software development to build a platform for you. You have no idea how much money you're saving here. Based on previous companies that I worked with, you don't need to be a millionaire to be able to do this. You don't need $100,000 or more to be able to have your own platform anymore. Okay. This platform adapts your business to your customers, to their needs, to your products, services, the paradigm, the way that you're thinking about the business, the way that you're thinking about the flow of it, all this that you wanted to offer from the beginning, but because of the platform that you're going to doesn't offer that, then typically you end up changing things that might be critical for your business. Okay. In a short way, it is a platform built for your business with the customizations that you want for your clients, all in an out-of-the-box experience, automating as much as possible. As a system engineer, the thing that I hate most is when you're doing tasks that you need to repeat every day or every so often, when the possibility of automating that or automating them is there. So if you can automate as much as possible for you to be able to take or have time for decision making, for attending your clients in a more personal way, for making sure that anybody that goes to the site, they know that you care, that you have the time to care, then we're doing a good job. If we're able to do that. So automating as much as possible for you so that you do not manually work repeating tasks and lose clients because of the wasted time that you needed to invest in the workings of the online business. Instead, automated tasks should be handled by the platform. It should be able to scale and properly adapt seamlessly to your business, removing headaches, which I've seen a lot actually have in different platforms, and existing problems that you are suffering on your existing platform. For example, how many times have you heard this phrase where they tell you on this other platform this doesn't happen, and on this one it does, and the same way around, vice versa. You say on this one this issue doesn't happen, which happens on the other one, and you don't know how to handle the situation. So, but at the same time, offer many other freedoms, scalability, and flexibility your business asks for, again, for you to decision making and all that, and have it integrated into the platform from the start because your business needs it to grow. We're always thinking, and OED or will always think like that. It will think that your business will succeed. It will think that your business will grow and that the concept of idea that you have can scale. Okay. And that you're able to control it. So that means that you have a game plan. You have a plan about your business that you want to do. You've already done the technical analysis. You've already done the marketing analysis, everything, demographics, everything, and you know that this can work. Well, OED is there to back you up in the tech side of your business. Okay. So how will OED be made? as software engineers working together. My team has been working together for 7 years already, but I've been working on other teams. I've always had a model called Kaizen, which is positive thinking. Okay, the Kaizen model that we have always used as a team for current partners and projects works well because he has a strong foundation working together with the client. All the current partners that we have, they know what I mean about this. They know that when we meet, I'm not talking as your developer. I'm talking about your serious partner for your business, and we need to make sure that that site starts making you money. So that means that you'll start making money with us. So I need to make sure that we do our best or above our best to make sure that you're successful. That's the end goal. That's the actual end goal of the partnerships. We know what their business needs are and how they can be improved over time. With this mindset, we're putting together a unique strategy and proposal where our team works together with you, the business owner, the client, the user, the partner, to build a new platform that has the ability to adapt to multiple needs using latest technologies, merging different platforms and concepts from multiple business types and ideas that we have worked in, and making life easier in so many ways for everyone. The strategy behind this uses the following points as guidelines. That's why I did not want to I did not want to force people into this. I want people to be able to analyze all this, take it, analyze it, think about it, because it involves doing a partnership right now with us. And I don't mean today, I mean in the coming months, where we take care of you right now with the benefit or concept or idea that you'll be helping us with OED later, financially speaking. So we try to make sure that you're successful right now from the tech side, so that the possibility of OED being financed by you, or at least a little bit by you, is there on the table. So the guideline is we gather a group of partners, which we've been doing already, via the partnerships that we offer. If you go to 2rsoftware.com, basically in the description, you should be able to see it. Uh, we It's a partnership where we take care of your site to slowly but surely fund the OED project, while also maintaining and customizing your own currently existing business site. This will ensure that we help you now in the areas of technology and IT that require it, so you don't need to worry about those technical issues for the business, or at least lower the cost for those. Meanwhile, you're helping us with OED in the future. Once we're finished with your site, once you're tuned and all that, as a partner, if you stay as a partner, you're helping us finance OED and make sure that you also have the possibility of having your own OED business platform, which is totally independent of any platform. Do note that. So even though OED sells itself as an A platform, you'll soon learn that it's totally independent. It's totally independent of the location where the services are going to be. They typically are going to be closer to the audience that you're targeting, or you yourself. And developers, third-party developers, will be able to do whatever they want on your own OED in multiple languages. So it's not constrained. Actually, it doesn't have any or most of the constraints that typical platforms have in regards to language, physical location, so many things. Okay, so let me see where I was. So you don't need to worry about the technical side. A software developer, well, this was added later. So a software developer with 10 plus years of experience is in backend, front-end system administration can be around 100,000 a year. So for example, I mentioned the cases of uh, um, what do you call it? The technical reviews that I've had with Google, and on some cases the yearly was around 200 and something. Okay, so imagine you paying 200 and something for a developer. Wow, that's yeah. So that's a normal person wouldn't be able to do that. Is what I'm trying to say. So in here in the team, everybody's an engineer. So imagine trying to do that with the the smallest one that we have right now. This year he would be already, I think, 6 or 7 years of experience already. So, which translates to around $8,000 a month. The partnership, the idea for the partnerships is to lower those costs. So you will be paying, depending on the maintenance or the premium partnerships, you will be paying this a month, so a lot less. And at the same time, you will be financing OED. So you're getting an IT department, but you're also getting the opportunity to have your own platform, your own OED platform in the future because of this. So we're helping you right now, and in the future, you should be able to have your own OED adapted to you with your liking. So the questions about, I always tell people, and especially the partners, I always tell them, don't tell me, can this be possible? Can we do this? As a question, no, because that affects your mindset in regards to the how you can handle your business. You need to tell me my business needs this. I want that. We need to incorporate this idea. That's what you need to tell me. Don't ask me if something is possible. You immediately need to know that it is possible. You immediately need to know that everything is possible. And from there we start. If we found a roadblock, almost all the time we can always break the roadblock, work around it, whatever. But it's better if you start from the position of everything is possible than from the question of if something is possible, because that totally changes how your mindset works. And I always need to correct that on my partners. Um, the partnership costs around between this and that, almost 7 times less than hiring the same professionals, depending on the partners' needs and amount of sites. With this same income, we help the partners and at the same time finance the work of OED. This is again a win-win solution, especially for you as a user. And here are a couple of salary sources that you can check. This document is actually in the Facebook group, so people can just click, and they can actually see the reality. Okay, so we're making I wouldn't say a sacrifice, but we're making an adjustment here to be able to adapt to the financial access of the partners and what we actually do. And at the same time, obviously, us survive. I need to take care of my developers, their family. I don't see, I never see the structure of my team as a pyramid. We're all linear. Okay, I teach them about programming. They teach me about programming. We discuss. We talk to each other about many things. So there's no, I don't, I never, I try to handle this as not a boss situation. I'm not a boss. If you want to put something, it will be a leader, but still don't feel like a leader because I always want to be, or at least the mentality that I have is we gotta be on the same page, which means we gotta be at the same level. There's no on top of you or something like that. Okay. So here are other benefits. Have the possibility to own an IT department. You can read the whole thing there, which you have a lot of professionals here. Lowering the funding ceiling the OED project would need. And what I mean about all of this is that once we do the kickstart, the people that actually helped us in the beginning, when we actually needed help, trust me, that's going to count for something big. So that will lower the amount that we're going to start asking Kickstart with. Okay. Having special partners that gives us their feedback about the current business needs so they can be adapted as an out-of-the-box experience on the OED platform. So again, you can tell us whatever you want on BD or any platform that you're using, the needs that you have there, but those needs are actually grabbed and incorporated into an OED so that you're not supposed to be asking for them. They're supposed to be there. And they're supposed to be there in an intuitive way. So if you come from a lawyer's perspective, if you go through OED, you're supposed to understand the terminology. You're supposed to understand the flow, where you go and what to do, because the backend also adapts to your business thinking, business criteria. It's not static. So if a doctor comes to the site, the whole backend changes to their mindset. Labels, structure, the way things look and behave, that changes. If you're a lawyer, that changes. If you're an engineer, specific something, that changes. If you're whatever, That totally changes. Those changes are actually provided by real users, you. And you tell us, I would like it to be like this because of this way of thinking in your profession. And it's not limited to that, because if you have staff, the staff can actually change the look of the backend for themselves because they need to do it in a way that it's more intuitive for them. For them, that's very important, the intuitive part. So raising the quality of OED thanks to the feedback from, yep, this is what I'm saying. It will never fall into what I think about an industry because only you know how your industry is changing over time, how you need to adapt to the new flow, the new things that come out, and only you will be teaching me how I'm supposed to be changing it for you. Making sure that when OED is launched, you as a partner will have a site that has been 100% adapted to your business model. I would hate if you come here and you start asking me, how do I do this? How do I get this? If we got there on launch, that means everything was done in a bad way. If you need to be asking, how can we do this? Is this possible? Is it that means that either you didn't give me all the feedback because you're used to the mentality of the other platforms, or we didn't do a good job, which that will never happen. You have no idea how many stages of testing are going to be going through in 140 different type of industries, which each one can adapt their own design to. So again, this is a true win-win scenario and one where we put our faith in you. This is the opposite. This is the opposite. Okay, this is us putting everything of us on the table for you. And that's how OED will work, how I know it will work. Because only, again, you know about your industry and you're literally telling us how we can develop a platform for you as fast and as efficient as possible with access to all the things that your type of specific business needs. And I'm not saying 100% of them, okay? But obviously, um, the critical things, the common things will be there, have to be there for that specific business type. And then over time, and I'm not saying over time in years from now. No, I'm saying in days or weeks, new things will be added to the platform. Why I say days or weeks? Because I've had cases, too many cases, where, for example, a platform takes, I don't know, like a year and a half to build something that we know for a fact it could have been done in a week or 2 weeks. Uh, Things that they push as a plugin extension or something that I know for a fact would have been a couple of minutes, and they offer it like this big thing. So here we're also putting a reality that business owners need to know. On the tech side, there's a lot of lies in regards to how long things take. Okay? And do know that we're including QA here, quality assurance, on all the stages for each of the modules, for each of the industries. And even with that in mind, we would never take that long to create a platform that's able to do this. Okay? Or at least the logic on how I have it on my mind and how I've taught my team, it's 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 pretty easy and it's pretty fun to do. So I don't see a a problem creating something like this, with the exception of, obviously, of the time and money. So we need those around those 2 years, maybe less. So what problems will OED solve? So looking for in your case, so you're looking for a platform that can easily be adapted to the scope of your online business. No need to remove ideas from your head while you're looking for the business. The business is supposed to adapt to you. No more going as a business owner looking for good developers that know how to create something specific. How many times have you gone to a developer, you paid them, and they created some crappy code, or they took way too long, or they basically disappeared? All those things. Okay, no, that's gone. That whole concept is gone. I'm not saying this is gonna replace developers. What I'm saying is there's gonna be a rule. There's gonna be like a escrow kind of concept on the platform when you hire a developer for the platform. uh, the the escrow. You got that middleman there waiting for the actual code to be applied to your site, and then it goes through for both parties there. So, and we have a validation system. We actually go there and on multiple languages, we can actually validate and help the developers. Um, Getting bad developers that do not understand how the business works. How many times have you had a developer that says yes, yes, yes to all your questions? They charge you and then they start asking you questions, or they just do something weird that you were not expecting, and you get bad results, and your clients get angry with you because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one that's going to be paying for the problems. Jeopardizing the experience the clients of the site have because of badly written code. How many times have that happened? How many sites and platforms are saved from stuff like this? Oof. From slow sites to broken functionality to platform updates, breaking the site, and more. Removing the typical experience where a platform will only contact you once during the first purchase. So I'm not going to read this whole thing. What I'm saying is on almost all platforms, you get contacted so you can purchase the platform. After you do the purchase, they don't talk to you anymore. There's no follow up questions, follow up ideas, follow up. In our case, we do need to, and that's why you need to understand the slogan about it's a platform built with you, not just for you. So here we're always constantly asking, and it's going to be probably a weekly basis, it's going to be a monthly basis, on some cases it could be a daily basis. Your feedback about things that we're building, your ideas about how can we make the platform better. You're not just being contacted in the beginning. This is a relationship, a business relationship that we need to maintain, grow, nurture. Okay, so your business can do great, and you can have other businesses. Having to handle very long delays in customer service, where sometimes the service part is lacking. I had cases where you're right and you get an. I had one case with, I won't say the company, but it rhymes with ShayPal. Okay, so ShayPal, I wrote to them about an issue with my account, and they actually replied a year and 4 months later, something like that. So yeah, ShayPal. I went with another payment gateway. Having to think inside the box instead of outside the box because of the structure of the platform. This is very important. A lot of people actually change the way that they were thinking about how they wanted to build their business platform, um, and it's because of the limitations of the actual platform. And on the platform side, common issues include creating features and functionalities that do not conform to the best practices. For example, they push this functionality or features that you really don't need to offer to your clients, but you don't have any option of removing them. So they're like there. Nobody's going to be using them, but you can't remove them or you can add new ones. Designing base functionalities that do not offer the flexibility to grow and adapt over time. More or less the same concept there. Or maybe they're heavy on maintenance, so it's very complex to maintain. Not growing the platform to the needs of their users or offering them an alternative, even custom solutions. So there's a lot of platforms that do not offer you an option to customize the site or the business site, I mean, or don't even offer you an API. Or when they do offer you an API, the API is very, very limited. As a team with experience in over 150 platforms and plus 20 plus years of basically working in the IT world, we have seen and learned a lot. We have seen how most platforms have a mixed or fixed mindset to which the users end up paying and adapting to, meaning removing ideas that you actually had in the beginning because the platform doesn't offer them. Forcing business owners and their business models to start removing original concepts, ideas, and even amazing features because the platform did not give them the creative freedom to do so. Okay, and well, there's a lot that I go about that, which is it has been growing over time. It has been, let me put it like, consuming me because I know a technological reality about things that are possible on the online world. I've done it in many platforms, But the fact that these platforms, and I'm talking in general, don't offer this to the actual users, don't offer this to you, is what gets me. It's like you know the truth, but because you're I'm gonna say it in a maybe in a bad way, but because you're a nobody, like I'm not Elon Musk or Bill Gates or somebody big, then I don't have a say on it. And between my wife and I, we were thinking, okay, if I have all this knowledge, I have all the things I've taught many developers about this, why not just do it? Why not just do it? And to be fair, I've actually gone to different platforms to offer even freely my services so that they could offer small things on their own business platform that I knew the clients would like because I liked them, or because I knew I had clients or partners that actually needed that, and I wanted to talk to them. And it's basically been years. Like the last time I did something like that was in 2018, and it's 2022, and they have not yet done so. I could have created an OED already at that time. Um, so all the things that are here, including things that you as a client don't need to be worrying about or should not be caring about, because either they should be automating that part of the process or your business process, or it should be notifying you of that. So for example, here I say from doing many of the SEO tasks automatically following updated Google Ads. Why doesn't the platform analyze the scope, industry, audience that you're targeting and adapt the SEO to it, based on the features, based on categories, based on page content, based on like all those things could be adapted automatically. And we all know the answer. It's because you will be leaving a lot of people that want to scam you out of luck. Like if we automate this, then they're dead. But to tell you the truth, that can be automated. All that can be automated. To optimizing CPU, meaning a system that can actually analyze your CPU usage based on multiple variables that you have in the system, and maybe change the language that's being done on that specific module because your business demands it. So it lowers the CPU usage, the memory usage, even maybe the storage uses. Why? Because in the long run, you'll be paying less per month on these cloud platforms. The idea is for you to also lower costs over time, but at least lower costs. So you can scale and grow. And if you've seen cases, like if you're a developer and you've seen how platforms that, for example, they used to use Node.js or they used to use PHP, maybe 7 or less, something like that, or 5, not 7.8, or they used to use anything and they moved to Go, or they moved to Rust, or they change Apache or Nginx to a Caddy server, for example, they seen a huge boost in performance, time that the users needed to wait for the page to load, and lower cost overall, lower cost. Why can't users have this without them having to learn about it or being forced to learn about it? Okay, not everybody, not all the industries, actually, most industries are not going to be caring about, well, you need 8 gigabytes more of RAM because you're streaming. They will love for a button. You click on a button, and most a better way would be for the actual cloud platform to adapt that. So they see that you're streaming, you're doing video streaming for an event on your live site, and it adapts the usage, the hardware usage, the resource usage, and then when it goes down, it adapts again. So from the user's point of view, there's no effect. There's nothing bad happen. And if you're billing effects, you don't see higher costs like what happens in Amazon. Like if you use Amazon for a long time, you know that you need a lot of money. Okay. Um, and there's so much more. So how will OED generate income? So the first step, or the first concept that we have here, is to um, the partnerships. Okay, we do the partnerships, we start building OED, and that's how we'll finance OED. Once OED starts, there's the plan is this: you have a monthly that you pay. The typical, it's a monthly. It's not a yearly. You're not tied to us. We don't do. I forgot these platforms where you're tied with them for a year on the contract and you can't quit before. No, 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 because we don't know if when you start using OED, um, you still want to keep on using. We need to give you all the freedom that you want. You don't like OED, there's no problem. You should have the opportunity, the option to leave, not be tied to us for a year. So everything is monthly. But you do need to understand something about OED. Once you start making revenue, a monthly revenue over a specific limit, then we start charging apart from the monthly a specific, we can call it fee, we can call it additional revenue. It's basically something that will help us, thanks to making you successful, basically making more than, in this case, the minimum one is you making $5,000 a month. So if you're making more than $5,000 a month, and not on the first month, but on the second month. So if you make 5,000 on the first one, and you keep on making 5,000 on the next one, it is on the next one that you start getting. We take a small percentage of that for trying to invest in faster implementation. Well, actually put everything here. So adding more professional developers that have a creative freedom about how to enhance the platform for you, faster implementation, better infrastructure, all the things that we want to do to make sure that your site is as efficient, fast, and less costly as possible. Let's put it like that. So you don't get a bump. Well, again, if you use Amazon, you know what I mean. What happens when you get a boost in traffic or something like that. So overall, making a community that works together for a better experience. You help us here, and we're able to make sure that your business starts generating revenue. Then, only then do we charge a small percentage. It's a very small one. It's like um, I think for 5,000 that you make, we get like 125 or 250 or something like that. But at least we made sure that through the platform you were able to make this much. Okay, the percentage goes down as your revenue goes up. So the higher the more that you make, the less that we take, something like that. What else would the OED offer? You can go through here. There's other types of integrations, including the fact that you'll be able to create a native, not a hybrid, a native mobile app for Android and iPhone. Okay. Uh, we use languages like Dart. We use languages like Kotlin. We use several languages there that are native to both of them. Why? Because it's very important for their performance of the app. It's also very important for the flexibility and the things that you want to offer as functionality from that phone app to your customers. Okay, and it's not just phone apps, it's desktop apps. Maybe you have a staff. Maybe you don't want them to go to the site, or they're not limited to go to your site. They can use the desktop to do things. For example, a call center. You can receive calls on your own streaming system. You don't need to use what do you call it? Zoom. You can have your own Zoom using open source technologies. Yes, you can. So you're able to do stuff like this. Okay. Um, and you can have Alexa, for example, integrations, Google Assistant integration, Bixby integrations, Siri integrations. However, whichever you want. I'm very into robotics and AI, so you can have all this. And these are things that I would love. I would love for the OED partners that we have, for them to actually be used to, so that they have a better criteria and a better, I would say, better understanding of the quality that you're expecting of online businesses currently. Things that you should have had probably 10 years ago, but they don't offer them to you. Most platforms don't offer them because they're so used to what they already offer, their growth or how they grow their business. And I'm not talking about financially speaking, I'm talking about technological speaking. It's very slow. So new features and real new features, not just little dumb things, uh, are hard to come by. So it turns me off that this is happening and that you, the user, is used to this. I would like to die when I'm really old, knowing that at least OED came and helped a lot of people. And that's where I'm coming with this. And the partners that know me, they know what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to help as many people as possible if we help each other. You give me ideas and we build them together. Okay? And we try to grow this ecosystem because this is just the first phase. And I think maybe I mentioned it here. In the first phases of the development process of OED, we'll be targeting site owners in other platforms that know. Okay, so yeah, I didn't add it here. There's another phase for this. So once OED is successful, there's a marketplace that we'll be adding. So imagine ThemeForest, imagine Upwork, imagine all this, but we do validations on the people that join there, the professionals that join there. We advertise them when you're looking for them in the marketplace. We make sure that they actually offer you good quality, not quantity, but quality of their work. And those are the professionals that we will be promoting to the partners because at the end of the day, the only person that we need to be caring of is you. That's the only one. Making sure that you're successful. If you're successful, we are successful. That's the as simple as possible. So we can create a marketplace that generates jobs for other people, and it's not just jobs at the software level. It's jobs in other entities. So, for example, OED could grow to a point where you can hire a gardener to take care of your real building, the garden next to your business. So everything about human resources in general could be related to your also to your online business. You could be handling payments. You can be handling a lot of things in a very easy way through this platform, including taxes, including everything. So the more that you help us, the better that we can do our job for you. This is a service concept. We're servicing you. If we're able to do it in a good way, in a very proficient, efficient way, then we're doing a good, and you're happy, then we're doing a good job. So again, like it says here, OED grows with you, not just for you. And so does our team. So as I always say, think positive. Big hugs to everybody. Love you all. And I hope you leave me comments here. You can see my email here if you want to email me about your business. Do remember if you go to 2R Software, actually here's the donations. But if you go the number 2R, the letter R, software.com, that's where at least for the WordPress and Bridge Directories partners, you can find more information about that there. And that's the summary of OED. So those partners that join, they're actually also financing OED. In the meantime, we're actually helping them on their current business platform. So we're helping you right now so you can help us later in the future. And that's it. Big hugs to everybody. Bye.